Hi, Ken German here. I'm the Unstoppable Geek, and I'm going to put on my coaching hat for you today, and I'm going to put on my healer hat for today. There's a lot of people that have coming to me on Facebook, and there's just a lot of people just I've been attracting lately where they're coming to me and that they think that they're lost. And it's kind of ironic because they're not really lost, because the direction that they need to go has been staring them in the face for years, and they're refusing to acknowledge it. And that's the funny thing is that so often the answers that we seek aren't going to come to us by throwing more money at the wall or more spackle at the wall, hoping that the idea is going to stick. And I'm telling you this because I want to help you. I want you to help you understand that our life story doesn't dictate our future, but it does tell us some history about ourselves, about what we need to do to move forward. It doesn't mean we should be obsessing on it. Doesn't mean we should be just constantly. It means we want to move forward. Excuse me a minute. I'm out walking my dog this morning, and you can guess what I just did. I'm not going to share that with you, though. So, hi, Ken German here. And I've been getting a lot of people coming to me asking me for help. And it hasn't been any tactical help. It's been more on the coaching side and the healing side, and helping people identify their niche, helping people identify their passion, helping people identify and create their vision. And ironically, about 85% of the people that are coming to me are in Empower Network, and they bought the 15K formula. In Module 1 in the 15K formula, Dave Wood goes through the entire exercise that you need to go through by writing down with pen and paper your vision, down to the sensory details of what you want to create. So I'm going to take it a little bit farther than what Dave would, because not all of you own the 15K formula. And I'm going to take it to you maybe a little bit more simple, but I want to really try and help you connect with your vision, because a lot of people are expressing, I'm trying to stay away from the word complaining, that they're not making money. And I went off on the other day, probably a little bit too much about that whole thing, but if you keep on creating a negative space around you, you're going to repel money. And if your only focus in your business is to make money, you're never going to earn it. Because what you want to focus on is you want to focus on what you're going to do with the money when you have it. And you want to focus on something that you're going to do that's going to be greater than what you're going to do for your family, because those are our natural responsibilities as parents, as husbands, as wives, as spouses, as that's the natural order of our relationship, is that we want to be able to provide our family for security. But you want your focus to be on something that's going to be able to create something greater than yourself that you love to do. Give you an example. My big calling is to create a foundation to help children get better access to education, to be able to help change the way that people view money, to be able to help people create a part-time business that allows them to create a part-time business that pays more than their full-time job. So that's part of my foundation, and providing the education for that, to be able to teach young adults how to break away from and create a paradigm shift in the economy. That's part of my vision, is the foundation, getting children better access to education, and teaching young adults and their parents how to create a business that they can work part-time to earn income so that they can pursue their dreams and passions. I could go on for hours about that, but I'm gonna save you from that for right now. So I want you to think about something. I want you to think about what it is that you love to do so much that you can talk for hours about, and that when you start talking about it, it makes you smile. whether it's going to be a log restaurant on the side of a highway because you love to cook, or if it's going to be helping parents with that have ADHD or autistic children, and helping them provide them a better lifestyle. What is it that really you have such a passion about, that when you talk about it, that it just brings so much joy and happiness to your life, you just start crying? If I talk about the foundation too much, I'll burst out into tears. Not because it makes me sad, it's because I'm so passionate about doing that. I'm so passionate about helping bring back the nuclear family. And what's funny is when I say nuclear family, a lot of people don't know what the hell that is anymore. The nuclear family is where both parents, or if you're a single parent, the parent or the parents can be there with their children to help them. If you don't know what nuclear family is, just look it up on the internet, just Google it, you'll find out the whole thing. But I want to help bring back the nuclear family, because families, the economy is destroying families. Parents are having to work 2 or 3 jobs, and they got latch hook moms that their moms barely get to see their children. So there's a lot of my own passions, but I want you to think about that. I want you to really just spend some time away with it, because spending $25,000 on coaching or spending $10,000 on coaching isn't going to help you find the answer. It might make you feel fuzzy and give you something later on to complain about because you didn't get the results, because you didn't spend the time necessary to do what you should do. Yesterday I gave you a bonus as part of on day 9 of my video challenge for Clicks Gone Wild about how to create a vision card. I created a vision card to earn $100,000 a month. Did it happen in the time frame that I wanted it to happen? No, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to stop trying to do that, because I know it's possible. I know it can be done. But you got to create your vision. You got to write it down on a pen and paper. I don't care what color the ink is. I don't care what the paper is. But you're going to sit down and articulate what your vision is. And you want to read that every day to yourself, because your beliefs are your reality. If you're angry at yourself, or if you're upset about something, find a way to let it go. I remember back, this was really a shifting point for me in my life, is back when I was in counseling for my first marriage. And we were in marriage counseling. And I'm the kind of guy that doesn't give up. I mean, when there was something, I made a promise to somebody, I will do everything I possibly can to make sure I hold to that promise. And when I married my first wife, who was my best friend for 14 years before we got married, I never even thought the divorce was possible. And I knew early on in the marriage that it wasn't going to work, but I wasn't going to quit trying to make it work. Because I realized in my first marriage that I wasn't in love with my wife. I loved my best friend, but I wasn't not romantically in love with her. We're still good friends and best friends to this day, and we still talk to each other. But one of the things that was a pivotal point in my life is because I had a lot of hate and a lot of anger that I was carrying with me, and it was destroying me. I had a lot of hate and anger towards my family for the way that they treated me. I had a lot of hate and anger that I just carried with me. And that bubbled up when I was going through counseling. And I was going to marriage counseling, and one day I was sitting there in the counseling, I was just kind of like, and finally the counselor says, Ken, I said, all this hate and anger that you're carrying with you, I said, it's like carrying coals in your hands. I said, the more that you grip onto that coals, and the more that heat from the coals is going to continue to burn you, the more people that you're going to hurt that truly love and care about you. And I'm a visual learner. And that visual learner, that visual process of what the counselor told me to do, the psychologist, was this: in order for you to move on with your life, you have to be willing to let go of the coals. You have to stop burning the people that truly love and care about you, and let those people who don't give a shit about you, who don't treat you the way that you want to be treated, let them go. Now, in my case, it was family, and that's a very hard thing to do because family is family. But I had to learn how to set healthy boundaries for myself and learn how to say no to the people that raised me, to my mom and to my dad. I had to, because they drove me freaking crazy. I had to move 1,700 miles away to have a normal life. At least what my normal is, which is pretty freaking cool. So you want to be able to find a way in your life to let go of the coals, to let go of the anger, stop hating yourself, and start learning to love yourself. Because that was the moment in my life that, that day I had the visual that I let go of the coals. And the next day, because I was working in downtown Minneapolis, I walked down to the lawyer's office, the divorce lawyer's office, and said, okay, what is it that I need to do to get out of this marriage? And it wasn't because I didn't love my wife. It's because I wasn't in love with her. And I couldn't be in love with her because I didn't love myself very much. And within a short amount of time from that day down in downtown Minneapolis, I filed for divorce. And 1 year later, I moved to Florida. Because I had to do what I had to do to make myself happy. I had to do what I needed to do to be Ken. To be the intuitive energy healer, to be the psychic medium, to be the coach. To be able to embrace my life as a passion. And trust me, being a psychic medium and an intuitive energy healer in a geek isn't very fun. Because for a long time I didn't love myself and I hated myself and I tried to hide that. And it spent me a lot of time, and I'm sharing this with you because I want you to understand what it takes to be able to learn to love yourself. What it takes to be able to move forward with your life. Because I used the analogy that when I moved to Florida, that I decided that my whole life I had kept Pandora in her box. And I realized when I moved to Florida that I no longer needed to do that, and in order to be Ken, I had to be the Phoenix. I had to let Pandora out of her box, and I had to burn down everything that I hated about myself. And I had to find every deep, dark, ugly secret and everything I hated about myself, and I had to burn it out. And like the Phoenix, I rose from the ashes. And I love who I am today. I love who I'm becoming, and I'm loving who I can be. And I love my family, but you know what? At the end of the day, they don't live with me. I do, and my wife does. And I have to do what's necessary for me to be happy. And I don't care whether they don't like what I do or not. Because I'm doing what I love to do. I'm embracing my passion. I'm embracing what I want to do. I want to be able to create more 6- and 7-figure earners than has ever been created in the entire history of internet marketing. Do I have any clue how that's going to do that? No, I have no idea. But I'm embracing my passion. I'm acknowledging that, yes, I made mistakes in my life, but I don't penalize myself for making those mistakes because every decision I made was the best decision I could make at that particular time. You know, it's only a mistake when I look back and regret the results, and I don't regret the results because each lesson I learned has helped me become the person I am today. And I'm pretty freaking awesome. Do I make mistakes? Do I get angry? Do I do that kind of things? Yes, I do. But I don't look at them as mistakes. I don't look at them as failures. I look at them as situations where I didn't get the results that I desired. I evaluated, I learned, I adjusted, I moved forward. So I want you to think hard about what your vision is. And if you have to listen to this 10 billion times or whatever you need to do, that's cool. But I'm giving you this because I want you to understand what it takes to learn to love yourself. That you have to be willing to let go of the past to welcome the future. That you have to be willing to potentially lose friends. And yet most likely you'll have to set some healthy boundaries with your family because you know what? At the end of the day, you have to love yourself and you have to love the people that truly love and care about you and that will go out of their way. People that will take a bullet for you. My relationship with my family is the best it has ever been because I moved 1,700 miles away from them. I talk to them more now than I have when I lived 15, 20 minutes from them. Am I angry about that anymore? No. It's because I had to learn to say, hey, they are who they are, and they're not going to change because they like their normal. I don't like their normal, so I moved away. Because their normal for me at that particular time wasn't very nice. Their normal at the time was hurting me. And it didn't matter how much I wanted to bring it up to them, how much I wanted to change them. I couldn't. The person that I had to make a decision to change was me. I'm the only one who can change my world. And to be pointing the fingers at everybody else is just a total freaking complete waste of time. Because I'm the master of my own destiny. I'm the master of my own future. And every action that I take every day creates that future and creates that reality. I don't know when I'm going to hit a $25 million business. I know what's going to happen because I've already set the intention. I already have the vision. There's always going to be little hiccups along the way of things that you need to look at. Yes. But you got to keep going. Remove quit from your vocabulary. Remove the words like, oh, my ADD is preventing me from focusing. Bullshit. I got ADD and I can focus perfectly. I've learned to leverage my ADD to be able to help me multitask better. It drives people freaking crazy. How can you do that? Well, I have ADD. I have ADHD. That's not an excuse. It's not a crutch. I can focus perfectly. Has it taken me a long time to do? Yes, it has. But it can be done. Stop using ADD as an excuse. Stop making excuses for yourself and start producing results. Start writing your vision out. Create that vision card. Carry it in your pocket every day. Write your vision out on a paper every day. Read it to yourself every day. Listen to positive audios. Tony Robbins. If you can't afford Tony Robbins, go out to Google, go out on YouTube and search Tony Robbins. Hundreds of videos by Tony Robbins. Listen to Seth Godin. Listen to John Rohn. There's tons and tons of people you can be listening to that are positive speakers. They're going to help you shift your mindset. They're going to help you be able to create your vision. I could talk about this for hours, and someday I'm going to in the book I'm going to write, but you'll have to wait for that. So, I'm Ken German. This is day 13 of the Clicks Gone Wild video challenge, and I'm here to help you be successful. I'm here to help you make this shift towards abundance, prosperity, and freedom. Have a totally kick-ass day. This is Wednesday, August 13th, and this is day 13th of the Clicks Gone Wild video challenge. Here's to your success, and here's to you creating a better life for yourself.